Good evening, everyone. It is Sunday evening, the 15th of March 2020, and I'm just having a look at the US dollar index versus the major currencies. So worthwhile noting on the weekly chart, top right, an incredibly bullish candle. So it was a very volatile week, especially when I discussed the global indices in a separate video. But it was a historic week, and obviously coronavirus is on the tip of everyone's tongue. And but this is an incredibly bullish candle. All right, it's also a very bullish monthly candle. So what this really implies is we haven't necessarily broken through the 100 level yet, but it does imply that the US dollar at this point in time is not going anywhere. So aside from perhaps shorter term retracements, I do expect it to try again at that 100 level. And let's just have a look at the euro dollar. So euro dollar has been not necessarily as bearish. It's also had a relatively bearish week, but not as bearish as that US dollar. And you can see here it had a bullish candle last month and currently a bearish candle. So it's ping-ponging in between, which just means euro dollar is going to be incredibly volatile. Then we've got cable. So cable actually broke a lot lower. It is actually now looking relatively weak as well, not just on the monthly, but the weekly as well. And it was looking really, really bullish for a while. My expectations were to see it continue to climb, but at the moment, it's taken a solid knockdown. I'm looking for retracements, and then depending on what the US dollar index is looking like at that time and the euro dollar, I may decide to then just trade in line with that or potentially stay out of the market. But just because of these big wild swings, I do really like the look of the Aussie dollar charts. Really nice. It's overextended to the downside on that weekly as well as on the monthly. It's getting a little bit overextended here on the daily as well, but pullbacks into this I think are good shorting opportunities that I'll be looking at. Kiwi dollar similarly as well, but it's not as overextended, which is great. So there's some good opportunities there, but definitely more bearish than bullish, just indicating a stronger US dollar for this coming week. Then having a look at dollar yen. So my commentary on dollar yen over the last year has just been that it's stuck largely within a range. We've broken outside of that range and recovered and ping-ponged back, sort of actually slingshot back into that range with a very bullish candle. So really dollar yen for me is not a worthwhile pair to trade, simply because it just does its own thing. So trends are very short-lived. Then I look at dollar Swissy. Yes, the dollar Swissy pairs are still coming down. This was a good bounce off a solid level, historic level support within a larger range. So I may be cautious with it, but I do like the idea of potentially looking for shorts now that we've come back into this area. So shorting dollar Swissy is on my list. Then having a look at dollar CAD. So again, dollar Swissy actually showing, funnily enough, a weaker, at least a stronger Swiss franc. Then having a look at dollar CAD. Pullbacks into this look very appealing to me. The flow is very much to the upside. Coming back down and looking at key levels here to find some support, and then buying opportunities is worthwhile considering. So dollar yen is one I'm sort of more wary of, as well as euro dollar. And that's really it. So there are mostly, the charts are mostly indicating a support for a stronger US dollar. Not all of them, but most of them. And so just with the swings, I'm extra cautious. But for the most part, currencies right now, although traditionally I'm more of a indices trader, then commodities, then currencies. Lately, I'm finding that currencies are probably a little bit safer to trade, simply because there's a greater variety of them. And of course, we'll have a look at the indices and commodities in subsequent videos this evening.